Hello.
How are ya?
Good. Just trying to figure out how people spend their money, which is we're covering. A whole mess. A whole mess.
I don't know. I just can't. I I don't know. I always thought like, yeah, I could spend $1 million easily over lunch, but like this kind of money, it's not
Yes.
at the
Yes.
math
Yes.
ain't mathing.
No.
Oh my God. So welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to the latest edition of TCZ News. Today on the docket, we have a cute little article from page 6. Here's how Erika Jayne's company allegedly spent 25 million from Girardi's firm. I can't even get that out properly with
It's like in 4 years, right? That's 6 million a year.
Oh,
I'm just.
I'm
I-
just
I'm.
thinking back to what she said. She has a LLC, her own company, where she's the only person who owns it, and yet she does not have the books, and she doesn't know what comes or goes.
Right,
What? Well, someone else knows what comes or goes. Um,
baby. I
Hold on,
mean,
you
this is.
pull. I'm gonna pull this up, and you start saying
I'm
this
just.
because
I'm just kind of in shock. And I heard about this. We heard about this last week or so ago. I think like rumors of the 25 million. I thought it was $25 million. I thought this was another $25 million loan. Didn't know that this is what was allegedly spent. I was sitting there like, when I saw this, like, are you serious, ma'am? Good
it's.
grief!
And then, like, you're reading through this. Like I told you, like in one of our previous streams, like Amex don't play. Like they dragged Tori Spelling for like what 25 grand or something like that.
Right.
Like it was a pittance in comparison. But yeah, she's and this attorney, what's his name? Ronald Richards.
Mhm.
Oh my god, he's detailed, like he's broken it down. But
Like,
but okay, so this is the loan that we've been talking about all this time. That's the $20 million elephant that Sutton called it.
no, I think the $20 million was actually funneled into her company. I think this is a separate 25 million.
So we're up to 55 million.
I don't know because this says the trustees claimed that from 2008 to 2020. So this, I wonder if they're the same. Let me see if I can find that because I've heard there are two different things, but then now this look is the same. Let me double check in 2 seconds.
Wow. Well, at least one thing is true. She says she lived off of credit cards and cash that he gave her because between 2018 to 2020, $14,259,012.84 was charged to an American Express card.
Hmm.
Wow.
Okay,
Another.
so sorry. Here's what
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at. So based on these are two separate articles.
Mm.
One is from U.S. Magazine. It says Erica question about alleged $20 million loans.
Mm-hmm.
So these are actual loans. They're saying these are actual loans from his law firm. So that's the
I.
$20 million elephant in the room. So that's one, and that's
Uh-huh.
specific. And then let me go back to this other article.
Don't you find it strange that a law firm is making personal loans though?
Right.
And he's an officer, I would guess, of this firm. It's a personal loan to his wife.
Right.
Like, aren't there, like, can you do? Oh, this just smacks of impropriety.
It really does. And this hold on, this like the 25 million. The way this other article is written out is written like the Amex is the company Amex.
She has a company Amex from the law firm?
The, this is what is written. So let me go into this other article real quick. It says on the 19th of August, the Daily Mail revealed the lawyers working for the trustee appointed Girardi Keese bankruptcy case sent a letter which will reportedly be filed with the bankruptcy court to Erika's attorney. The letter claimed that Thomas's firm transferred the 25 million to Erika's company. So that's so I think that's where the 25 million is. What it is, they're alleging that the money was transferred from the lawyers to Erika's company. It's not like she had so. I'll backtrack on the black card. It was like they actually transferred money to her company, and she spent that money.
Okay.
And then according to the U.S. Let me go back to that U.S. Magazine. This one detailed specifically at 20 million, and they referenced the Real Housewives episode on Wednesday about the $20 million elephant in the room. But it says, why is the paper saying that the 20 million went into your LLC? This is gonna take a little more digging because it seems like these two articles are saying the same thing with two different amounts.
Could the $25, Debbie? Ugh. Could the 25 million be could the extra 5 million on the 25 million be the interest on the 20 million?
It could be because it's referencing it's interesting that these two articles are referencing a similar amount, but both saying they were transferred, but they're different. Like I said, they're different amounts. So I'm intrigued.
In this release yesterday, when this attorney detailed like all the stuff, he said plus interest. If I can remember correctly.
Yes, it says, let me find that for you. It says Ronald Richards, a lawyer representing the trustee, told Page 6 in a statement that Jayne owes Girardi Keese over $28 million for her purchases plus interest. $28 million plus interest.
Oh, so they ain't including oh, good Lord, this girl.
So we don't. It's going to take a lot of digging. I might have to do it because I'm curious to know: are these two separate, like chunks of cash, or is everyone talking about the same chunk of cash? Because there's two different articles referencing, like I said, two different articles referencing two different amounts, but both saying their money transferred.
And actually, the breakdown of payments, I don't think it adds up to even 20 million if you look at what he lists out. But he's not a forensic accountant, is he? He's just an attorney.
No. Let me go back up to, I think I saw something about that breakdown. My apologies, everyone. Let me go back into the other article. Come on now.
The lawyers for the trustee overseeing Girardi Keese bankruptcy found that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Star company spent more than $25 million on her American Express bill, assistance, and a glam squad, according to a legal demand letter sent to her lawyer on Thursday. And their response from the Erika Jayne camp, what was their response? Jayne's attorney shot back that no money whatsoever went to Erika, however, and that she never had a role in managing her husband's company.
But that's not what they're saying, though. What they're saying is the money was transferred to her LLC. So yes, you can say that the money didn't go to Erika directly, but it went into her LLC. That's kind of playing semantics at this point.
Oh, and it says here, Mrs. Girardi signed under penalty of perjury the return and personally approved the charges allocated to the breakdown, the letter reads. A source indicated that the letter would be filed in the bankruptcy proceedings as part of an amended complaint. Damn.
Child, because
she signed it.
Right, you signed it. This is going to be interesting how this plays out and how much money she actually got.
And this money, just so that we're clear, was transferred from Girardi Keese law firm to Erika Girardi's company, EJ Global LLC. And it notes that she is the sole owner of the company. Because I know that was a question I had. Or I have a lot of questions about this because it doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm not a business person, so I don't know.
Yes, according to this article, the claims are the letter that was submitted. It says the letter claimed that Thomas's firm transferred the $25 million to Erika's company, EJ Global LLC. So this was just a straight transfer, no loan, no nothing. This is like, oh, we just gonna give her some cash.
But why? What is like? Okay, when you have a business, don't you have to render services?
Yes, and that's what's not listed, and that's what's making. I think that's what has the docs aren't quite connecting because that $20 million that they're saying that was a loan. So that's one thing. To me, these are two separate things, and I'm gonna read them as such until I see different. Because the first thing was a loan of 20 million. The 25 was just like, oh, we're just gonna transfer some money to your company. No reason, no rhyme. Yeah.
So you really think it could be like over 55 million?
Pretty
Sorry,
much.
40. Well, no, if it's
45.
28.
28 plus 20, 48.
Oh, good Lord. See, I told you I wasn't business minded. I can't even add. So who she paid all of this to other than American Express? Who's this? Like 1.5 went to the McDonald Selznick Associates Agency.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first agency dedicated to represent dancers and choreographers exclusively. 1.4 million on unknown purchases.
Unknown
Like
purchases.
what? Oh my God. Let's see. She
Maybe the
gave
sex club?
Stephanie. Oh, child. She gave Stephanie Shepard, formerly Kim Kardashian's executive assistant, over $102,000. And Opus Beauty, an agency that represents best and most influential and sought after artists in the business, over $17,000. Then you have Mario Devanoic, better known as Makeup by Mario, received $1,000. E5 Global Media, who publishes Billboard and The Hollywood Reporter, received $8,400. The Los Angeles Times Magazine was paid over $10,000. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I just can't with her.
I need to go watch Emily D. Baker again real soon because I think she mentioned in one of the videos like how the money is supposed to get to the victims and that typically the lawyers aren't supposed to handle any of that.
Right.
And it came to conclusion that maybe he was in charge. Somehow he was in charge of the accounting department or the accounting, and this is how he was able to get his hands on the money. So what's supposed to happen, from what I understand from her video, is that the settlements happen, the money gets paid to the attorneys, the accounting part, the attorneys, accountants. It's their job to make sure everyone gets paid out, right? Like we pay you for this, we pay you for this, we pay for this, and then what's left goes to the victims, and that's their job. And for that not to happen, it's possible that Tom could have been in charge of the accounting, but I can't seem to. I just googled it. I can't find it.
Accountant. Like that money is supposed to be put in the escrow account as soon as they get it after
by the
will.
accounting. Yes.
Right. And then, like you said, they deduct their percentage for being the attorneys to pay for their fees. And then the rest is supposed to automatically, from that escrow account, just go straight over to the victims.
Right. It's supposed to be paid out by the escrow account or who's ever in charge of the escrow account. Happen. And from what we can gather, what I can see, this is my opinion, that somehow he got involved. That's the only way you can get away with that.
Are they investigating his accounting department, like his like chief financial officer, head accountant, whatever you call it in a law firm?
Yeah, they're looking to bring in forensic accountants.
Yeah, but the forensic accountants just trace the trail, like you follow the money. But
I
is
mean,
anybody questioning the chief accountant at his firm? Or did he leave too?
sorry, let me Google this real quick.
Because
But here's the
I don't
thing.
see lawyers managing the accounting at a firm like this. Like they have to have a chief accountant.
But the thing is, though, you haven't heard anything about accountants in this. None of his accountants. No one.
But that's impossible. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's like his firm won huge settlements. An
Mm-hmm.
attorney is not an accountant. Oh my god,
Right.
this is crazy. How was he allowed to get away with this for so many decades?
Yeah. That's what everyone's asking now.
Child.
Yeah, it's a whole mess, and that's part. I think that's where the crux of the issue stems from, because like if you have an accounting department, there's no way you can get away with this as a lawyer, in my opinion, without being involved, because they're the ones who do the auditing. Like you have to have. Oh,
Well, his
oh,
taxes every year.
here we go. I just like okay, I just googled this, and it says, let me read this out. Let me send this to you as well. It looks like it says this is from April 1st, 2021. It says Girardi Keese CFO takes the fifth to avoid testifying,
Oh, child.
and this is behind a paywall. So I can't read the whole article, but yeah, you're on the spot. His CFO was they did reach out to them, but he ain't testifying.
I don't. Okay, he pled the fifth in order to protect himself.
We gonna go with that.
I would be cutting a deal. I would not be going down for this.
Oh, here it goes from page 6. Um, that's Tom, but yeah, the CFO is taking. It looks like everybody's taking the fifth on this one.
They taking the fifth until they can cop a deal. They all gonna start ratting on Tom.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole mess. Because I would love to see what what the firm's tax returns were saying for all of these decades.
I'm gonna send you a little it's like a post. Let me send it to you real quick, and so I just googled it just to see if I can find anything else, and I sent it to you in private chat. So here's what this little post says. It says it looks like it's from Media Boss Marketing. This is from April 1st. It says Girardi Keese's chief financial officer intends to invoke the Fifth Amendment to avoid testifying about the defunct firm's finances because he might be a target in the federal investigation of the firm's theft from client trust accounts. He told the LA bankruptcy judge Thursday, which was that day. It was like his name is Chris Kamen, had allegedly prepared checks for a plundered Girardi Keese client trust account, making his right to avoid incriminating himself self-evident. He said in a court filing prepared by his white-collar defense attorney Richard Steingard. Kamen, who has been named in court documents as one of the few people privy to the firm's finances besides in the legal profession for information is key to success. You have to know what's happening with clients, competitors, practice areas, and industries. So yeah, this is I just sent it to you.
Yeah, I put it up.
Okay.
But
this is
yeah, like the lawyers can't manage the funds. You have
right.
to have a chief accountant, or in this case, a CFO, and an accounting department.
Correct.
And so this totally broke down. Why nobody didn't rat this out for years, I don't understand. There
Me
had to be
neither.
some disgruntled employee in the accounting department that should have went and said something. Because I bet you anything, they had 2 separate sets of books.
Right. Because the bookkeeper, this is the bookkeeper, another article behind a paywall. So this is from July 26th. Tom Girardi and his bookkeeper. Wow. Yeah, this is not good. My whole thing is that at this point, just bring in the forensic accountant and get to work.
Well,
Because you got too much money out here. Because we have to also remember, apparently there's supposed to be $80 million somewhere that they don't know where it is.
oh yeah, because it was Tom who would say he had $80 million at one point, right?
Right, and Erika didn't know about it.
Can
And
we
now it's not
stop
there.
saying that? Can we just stop saying that? I'm so sick of her excuses. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, this story just gets even wilder and wilder, and we have to stay on top of this because this is just too interesting to let go at this point. At least for me, because I'm nosy. So I just want to know how this all broke down, what happened.
Well, I hope that they can recover some of the funds
Yes.
to give the victims, because they're owed what they're owed.
Exactly.
And the companies or entities that were at fault paid in good faith these monies, and it's just sad. I hate to sound like but oh my God, the orphans and the widows.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
that's where your mind goes. That's where your mind goes.
and it's so many of them, and for so long, because the Lion Air thing was 10 years ago. How have you not been paid out after 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
It's like pouring salt onto the wound, like seeing all of this. I feel so bad for all of the victims. And I did watch Hustler and the Housewife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the chap that was the burn victim from the explosion from the gas company, he was featured in that.
Oh.
And every time we do a story or talk about this, or even like from the show, and I'm watching Erika, I'm seeing that young man taking off his shirt, and you're seeing all of the patches of skin grafts on this, what used to be otherwise a healthy young man in his youth. And now every day is a challenge for him. And he has gone through so many surgeries and still has so much more to go.
Right.
And he has to focus on trying to find this money in order to get those surgeries that will help give him a better kind of life existence. Yeah.
Better quality of life, yes.
Yeah, it's just every time I see her, I see that young man taking off his shirt from that documentary, and it saddens me. It saddens me. He's lost so much already. This is the final slap in the face.
Yeah, especially we see them like living that lifestyle, doing this. I spent this much, I spent that much. We have 2 planes in the family, blah blah blah. Like really?
But they never really had those, right? Those were leases.
I don't know, but then to hear about all the money that they quote unquote had, it's like really?
Yeah.
145 million? Come on now.
What lawyer gets that kind of money though? Personally.
Right, but he closed a lot of huge cases though. So it just depends on how big your law firm is and this and your fees and all that. It just really depends. But he closed some. I think he closed like multiple billion-dollar settlements.
Again,
Multiple.
he shouldn't have had $80 million in cash that he could brag about. I don't care how many, because the majority of that money is supposed to be going to the victims, not into your wallet as the attorney.
Well, don't attorney's fees start at like 30 to 40%?
Even so, like, it's kind of scary, because I would hesitate going to his law firm if he's there bragging that he has $80 million in cash. Like, okay, you're doing really well, but how much am I going to see after paying your firm? So I don't know. Anyway, this is a sad story. It's an evolving story. It truly is expensive to be Erika Girardi, apparently.
Very.
I would love to see a full list of the $28 million once Ronald Richards is done. I'm still a little foggy between the $20 million elephant and then this $28 million. I wish he would come out and clarify that, since he seems to be the lead attorney who's providing all this information. Yeah, just clarify it a little bit for me, Ronald, because I'm a little slow. I'm on the short bus.
I'm there with you because I want to know too.
Oh, child. Well, any final words on this tragedy of the Girardis?
No, I think we've so far we've covered what we know in regards to this new $28 million quote unquote money transfer. That's the only way we can call it at this point, is a money transfer.
You and I think of like WhatsApp to transfer money. We just don't do it on the sum. It's just crazy. Yeah. It's hard to think about this. But anywho, guys, leave your comments below. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, share, and follow us on social media, on Instagram and on Twitter. We love to hear from you. This is an evolving story. As we learn more, we'll share it with you guys. All right, my friend, until next time.
Of course.
Bye. Bye.